Okay, what's up everyone? So today I want to talk about Psylocke. So one of the main reasons I want to talk about Psylocke is because of her newish availability as a 6-star. Now, as of now, this is mostly my opinion, a lot of facts backing it up, but there are four consistent power drain champions in this 6-star basic and 6-star featured. I mean, there's other people like Symbiote Supreme, who has one of his forms active. He can drain 45% power only with an SP2, and there's Nebula who can drain with an SP1 based on how many shocks she has. But it's just not as consistent as kind of who I put as the four main power drain champions in the 6-star, which is Psylocke, Hawkeye, Dormammu, and Doc Ock. Those are the main power control champions. Doc Ock doesn't really drain, but he does power lock, and it is very consistent. So I think he falls into there. And without Magik as the major power control champion, I believe that Psylocke could really kind of take up that mantle, just because of how consistent her power lock, her power drain is. It's not always exactly perfect, but it is extremely powerful in a lot of different scenarios. Just being able to chain SP1s, or SP2 having a power lock, or SP3 always bringing them to zero power. She really has, I think, kind of a new use in the meta that I think a lot of people are overlooking, just because Psylocke's are always been overlooked. She came out between Iceman and Archangel in one of those 3 champion months. Haven't had one in a while, but she is a fantastic champion. One of my favorites from quite a while ago, actually. And yeah, I just want to talk about her today, kind of how to use her, because she definitely doesn't need to. Another reason she is a extremely powerful 6-star. So, like always, I just want to start off with abilities. She does have a pretty high critical rating. Critical damage rating is greatly increased by both her passive and her signature ability, but like I said, not necessary at all. First things first, she gains 25% less power from striking the opponent. This can kind of hurt a little bit, but at the same time, it kind of helps you manage your specials and manage your bars of power to get the bar of power when you most need it at the perfect amount of time, because she'll actually be getting sorry about my cough. She'll actually be getting her SP1 at the same time the opponent would be getting their SP2. And I'll talk about this a little bit when I get to the strategy using her, but that actually helps a lot. Passive, large critical damage rating. That also is mirrored in her dupe, extra bonus critical damage rating. It doesn't help as much just because of diminishing returns. Now it kind of hurts that a lot. I used to get up to 3,500 medium crits. Now I get 2,700. It's still quite good, but I wouldn't put her damage anywhere up extremely high. I'd say she's about Magik level, which isn't bad at all, but it's not the best either. But her main use is her power control. Her side charges are necessary for power control. You get them both by landing 5 hits on an opponent with 0 power, and every time the opponent reaches a bar of power. And if the opponent doesn't have power, or say if they have 0 power and Psylocke has 1 side charge, then they don't gain power when struck. And that's how she gets her Innervate ability, which is similar to Gwenpool, if you've ever used her, where the opponent isn't getting any power when struck, but abilities like Power Gain and Kinetic Reactor will still give the opponent power. So it is a lot more situational. Her SP1 drains 25% of the target's max power. Her SP2 power locks, so that's another reason for her SP2. It does consume 1 side charge to do this, but it does give you power lock. Can be helpful for situations like Hyperion. Her SP1 drains 25% max power. It's not great. 25% is kind of a weird number, but the best way to think about it is that it's 2/3 of 1 bar of power, because each bar of power is 33%. So that's a little. It is a little bit better than it actually looks. And if she drains them below a bar of power, so say they just reach 2 bars and you use your SP1, they're going to be draining that 25%. They're going to be back at 1 bar and a half, somewhere around there, and you actually get your bar of power back instantly. You won't gain exactly a bar of power back, you'll gain what you need to reach a bar of power. So if you're at 99% of a bar of power, 0.32% max power, then you're going to be getting just that 1%. But if you're at 0, you're going to be getting back that full bar of power. And this can be great for something like All or Nothing, where if they get to their SP3, you use your SP1, you're going to be draining that 25%, you'll instantly get your bar of power back. Hit a 5-hit combo, they're back at SP3. As long as you chain that SP1 all at the very end, the same thing happens. They're drained 25%, you get your bar of power back, and it's just cyclical, and it can work actually very great there. Her SP3 will consume all of her side charges, so if you build up a lot of them by hitting with 0 bars power, this will get rid of all of them, even though it only needs 1 to drain the target's power to 0. So what I usually do is, if I'm planning on using SP3, I'll use the heavy attack first, which we'll talk about in a second. So her SP3 is 100% chance to power lock, burns 100% of the enemy's power. It is a longer power lock, 10 seconds, and because it reduces the 0 power all the time, it used to be 20% of target's power burned per a side charge, so you need 5, but now you only need 1. You're starting them for 5 seconds, you're power locking for 10, you have the chance to get a 5-hit combo in, and you will get that side charge back, and you will be able to continue to power lock them with her Enervate. Like I said, with the heavy attack will consume all of her side charges and deal energy for each one. But so what happens if you use the heavy attack first? You will use all your side charges, but you don't need any side charges. They'll still be at 0 power after your SP3, and you will still stun them and power lock them, and you can get a charge or 2 back. Going on to basic strategy, you want to build the opponent to the SP2 or the SP1 twice. This is more for situations like against Falcon. You want to build the opponent to the SP2, where you can easily evade that. But against someone like Blade, you want to build to the SP1 twice, just because that's a lot more easily evadable than Blade's SP2. You want to avoid block damage. Psylocke doesn't have a lot of health. Not fantastic block efficiency either, like most characters similar to her. Once they use either the SP1 or the SP2 twice, that's when you want to get the SP1 off. Your SP1, step 2 is build self to SP1, but that will happen as long as you're building the opponent to the SP2 or SP1 by hitting them. It's kind of weird if you get hit first, because you're going to be gaining the normal amount of power instead of that 25% less. But we're just going to assume that's not happening and that you're in complete control of the fight and hitting. So once they have used their SP2 or their SP1 twice, that's when you want to either quickly intercept or parry, and you want to use that SP1 basically immediately after. You want to avoid a lot of hits in that combo before you use your SP1, because you want them at the least power possible. You will drain 2/3 of a bar of power, but you can still give them a lot of power in a 5-hit combo. And sometimes if you do that 5-hit combo, you actually won't drain them with 0% power. You'll drain them to like 1% or something like that, and you won't get that Enervate off. So, like normal, the fight screen, you have the side charges, which are necessary for power lock, and they're gained by landing 5 hits on the opponent with 0 power, or by the opponent's building bars of special bars, and the Enervate is the passive debuff on the opponent, and that's when the opponent won't gain power from any hit. That's what you're going to see when the opponent is 0 power. If you're duped, you're going to be getting that ability accuracy reduction on the enemy, in addition to extra critical ratings. This is when Psylocke does her most damage. This is when the enemy is not going to be gaining their power from getting hit. That Enervate is really what you want to see on the enemy. That's what you're focusing on. So now we're going to go into some quick fights against Alliance members. Like I said, with Blade, the focus is to get him to use his SP1 twice. You saw we did some really good burst damage there. Something you will see quite a lot with Psylocke is that kind of burst damage when they're low power. Having class advantage really helps her damage. You're going to be seeing a lot more high crits here. I'm going to go for the parry here. Use the SP1 immediately, don't even bother hitting them. And you can see the Enervate passive is now on, gaining no power from getting hit, and hitting 1500 crits is nice and easy for Psylocke. I'm just going to do a couple fights against Alliance members here. I'll try against someone a little beefier, like a Cable, where I don't have class advantage. Psylocke is really good for a lot longer fights when you don't want to be giving the enemy a lot of bars of power. Something like the name of the node escapes me right now. I believe it's Evolution, where they gain extra buffs every time they reach a bar of power. I know Magik is the top option for someone like Killmonger on that node, but I think Psylocke can also help a lot. But I'm not sure how her interaction with his node debuff or his gaining power from debuffs would work there. See a quick 1700 crit. Our crit damage is slowly reducing. Try this. Just read the second half of it because I don't want to get hit. If you get hit, you will lose a side charge every hit you take, which is exactly how you how you don't get the power lock off, which is pretty brutal. Her SP2, I'll build up to it here. It can do some pretty good damage. I'm getting no crits at all right now. You can see rather the 1700. Her class advantage damage really helps. But we got a nice 5k there. I'll show up her heavy. Her heavy can mess up a lot of people on war defense, just because look at the range of that. It's just fantastic. I do recommend against intercepting with it, just because intercepting with it is pretty difficult. Since her first couple hits are close, and then she does the dash, you're more likely to get intercepted in the middle of the dash by an AI. Do one more fight against an alliance member here. I'll see if I can find something that's not. There we go. Something that's not a plate and not a cable. So I think we're gonna be. We'll try and use the SP3 here. Show off what that does. Hopefully not kill him while using it. We only need one side charge, or we need to have him power locked beforehand. We'll bait out his SP2, I think, to show that we're still at a bar of power. We're a little bit above, just because we're taking all the blocked hits here. Evade that, quick intercept, right into the SP2. He has half a bar of power just from me getting that quick combo and SP1 off of him. Hitting is not too bad. Got the reduced ability accuracy. Already up to 5 side charges, so you can kind of see how those would ramp up damage-wise very quickly. I'm killing him much faster than I thought, so I'm going to use a heavy and do an extra 6,000 damage just with those side charges. They do almost 900 damage per side charge, so stacking them up is fantastic. That was 6. I think no, must have been 7 to get off that amount of damage there. And you get one every 5 hits. Last thing I want to do is go into Realm of Legends and kind of show off her maximum damage potential, show off that SP3, because dual fights are ending too quickly to get there, and I think instead of going right for that SP3, I'll go for the... Or going right for the SP1, I'll go for the SP3 at the very beginning here to get that power lock off. Kind of show how that's a be-all end-all power lock. Because it takes, with her 25% less power gain, it takes her so long to reach. You can see just how much critical hits we're doing when they have low power. I think I saw 2500 there when he was, 2500 right there when he has a bar of power. 2600, 2700. Which it should be reducing a lot more. We are running the mutant crit team here, so we're going to be getting a lot higher. He's not aggressive enough, but if you check out the last time I did this Psylocke video, one of the things I talked about, sorry, was using her power lock to play extremely aggressive and hit 4-hit combos a lot. So just 5-hit combo, 1, another 5-hit combo, 2, and now I don't believe it'll show up until that regular power lock goes away, or it just won't show up at all. So that's an interesting visual glitch with your SP3. But there is no enervate on the opponent right now. Let's see if I can get one show up with the SP1. Nope. So this is the first time I'm seeing this visual glitch, so that's interesting. Let's see if I can do it here. So quick 4-hit, because they're going to dash back in after you most of the time, if not hit into their block a couple times. You see just the kind of damage we're doing now. It is a lot of hits. Her specials aren't that high hit count. That's something I haven't talked about. When you hit someone, when you get hit by someone who is a lot higher or has been power locked for a long amount of time, then they will be gaining a lot of power. Quick SP1 chain there, didn't work. I'm not going to completely finish this fight. I just want to use a quick heavy attack here. Once I get another power lock, this should bring him past the bar of power, and then bring him immediately below. I can parry, get another one right off. And there's the enervate symbol I've been looking for. There it is. Let's see what we can do for damage here. 1700. Non-critical damage is abysmally low. There we go, 2700. Build up to like 20 here, see what that does. Getting on the first hit of a combo for whatever reason. 19. 20 and 17,000 damage. Use that SP3. This will get the lock and the stun on him, despite us having no charges, because the opponents don't gain any power from her SP3. 5-hit combo, another 5. 3 charges. And it's nice and easy power lock. As long as I don't get hit, it doesn't matter. He'll be power locked for the rest of eternity. If I just keep up this 5-hit combo, parry, 5-hit combo, it'll be a long fight. Her non-critical damage is abysmally low, so I'm not going to finish it out. Quick, cheeky, heavy for an extra 7,000 damage. Show the SP3 animation one last time because it's fucking insanely cool. Look at that. Went through his head. Boom. Not going to finish watching that. So yeah, that's Psylocke. I think with her availability as a 6-star, she really has a new place in the meta that not a lot of people are looking at. But I definitely think that other people should definitely take another look at her. She's also available as the 5-star, which isn't as great since Magik's available as a 5-star. But as long as Magik stays out of the 6-star basic and featured, I believe that Psylocke could definitely take at least start to kind of build herself into that mantle of a top-tier power control champion. Hopefully you agree. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. And that's how to use Psylocke.